Welcome to this deep dive into Agile Essentials. We will master how to craft user stories that deliver real value, define clear acceptance criteria, and apply the INVEST principles to keep your backlog healthy and actionable. User stories shift our focus from technical specifications to user value, ensuring every piece of work solves a real problem. This infographic breaks down the core formula and the three critical components that make stories effective. The 3Cs framework offers a simple yet powerful structure for capturing requirements, while fostering true collaboration within your Agile teams. First, we have the card, which serves as the written reminder of the user story. This concise note captures the essential title and description, acting as a placeholder that sparks the necessary dialogue rather than replacing it. Next comes the conversation, which is actually the most critical part of the process. These ongoing discussions between the product owner, development team, and stakeholders clarify details and ensure everyone shares a unified understanding of the value being delivered. Finally, we reach confirmation, where we establish clear acceptance criteria and tests. These specific conditions define exactly when a story is considered complete, ensuring that the delivered feature truly meets the agreed-upon requirements and user needs. Acceptance criteria act as the boundary lines for a user story, preventing scope creep and ensuring the team builds exactly what the user expects. They transform vague ideas into testable conditions. Bullet points provide the most direct way to list requirements, allowing teams to quickly verify if specific conditions are met without complex formatting or syntax. The given when then structure creates a narrative flow that describes the context, the action, and the expected outcome, making it ideal for automated testing and clear communication. When stories involve intricate business rules or conditional logic, a rule-oriented format ensures all constraints are explicitly documented and understood by developers and testers alike. To ensure your backlog remains manageable and valuable, every user story must adhere to the INVEST principles. Let's have a look. Applying INVEST ensures stories are independent, valuable, and testable, which is crucial for maintaining a fluid and predictable development flow. Let's walk through the criteria one by one. Independent. The story should stand alone as much as possible. It shouldn't depend on other stories being completed first, to allow parallel work and flexible ordering. Tip: if dependencies exist, split or refactor stories. Negotiable. The story is not a fixed contract. Details can evolve through conversation. The written card is a placeholder for discussion. Tip: avoid overly prescriptive language. Leave room for technical creativity. Valuable. It must deliver clear value to the user, customer, or business. Include the "so that" clause to explain the benefit. Tip: if you can't articulate the value, reconsider the story. Now, let's dive into the remaining 3 INVEST criteria to ensure your stories are truly valuable and actionable. First, ask if the team can realistically estimate the effort required. Vague scope makes estimation impossible, so add a research spike if needed to gather the necessary clarity before planning begins. Next, verify the story fits within a single sprint. Large stories often hide hidden epics, so split them into manageable chunks that can be completed in just a few days to keep momentum high. Finally, ensure every story has clear acceptance criteria so completion is undeniable. If you cannot define specific tests for the feature, you cannot reliably verify it works or ship it to your users. Crafting a great user story is a step-by-step process that starts with identifying the persona and ends with attaching clear acceptance criteria. This method ensures clarity and alignment. Start by pinpointing exactly who the user is and what specific goal they want to achieve, ensuring the story addresses a real need for that specific persona. The "so that" clause explains the value, helping the team understand why the feature matters and allowing them to make better prioritization decisions during planning. Collaborate with developers and testers to refine the details, then attach acceptance criteria that define exactly what done looks like for this specific story. Writing high-quality acceptance criteria is an art that balances specificity with brevity. Following these best practices ensures your stories are clear, testable, and ready for development. Every criterion must be clear enough that two different people would interpret it the same way, eliminating ambiguity and reducing the risk of rework later. Having too many criteria often signals that the story is too large. Aim for a sweet spot of 3 to 8 points to ensure the story remains small enough. Don't just test the happy path. Include scenarios for invalid inputs, edge cases, and performance requirements to ensure the feature is robust in all situations. Even experienced teams fall into traps when writing user stories. Recognizing these common pitfalls early allows you to correct course and maintain a healthy backlog. If a story feels overwhelming, it is likely too big. Break it down into smaller, independent pieces that can be completed within a single sprint to reduce risk. Without clear criteria, the team might build something different than what the stakeholder expected, leading to wasted time and the need for significant rework later. Stories should describe user value, not technical implementation details. Move technical specifics to tasks or conversation notes to keep the story focused on the user's needs. As your team grows, you will encounter more complex scenarios like epics, spikes, and scaling frameworks. Understanding these concepts helps maintain agility at scale. Epics represent large themes or initiatives that are too big to complete in one sprint, requiring decomposition into smaller, manageable user stories for execution. When facing uncertainty, use a spike to conduct research or prototyping within a set time limit, allowing the team to gather information before committing to a full solution. In large organizations, frameworks like SA provide structure for managing multiple teams while preserving the core INVEST principles to ensure stories remain valuable and testable. The ultimate goal is not perfect documentation, but valuable, working software delivered frequently. Use these guides as a living reference to adapt and iterate your process. Thank you for joining this deep dive into Agile User Stories Biz. We hope this guide empowers your team to write better stories and deliver more value.